Boys and girls, what is going on this exciting Friday morning? The news just keeps pouring in before we hit go live. We are live here on DSM-Media's Philadelphia YouTube channel. Guys, as always, starting the show off the same way. Do yourself a favor, do us a favor. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. More importantly, our Twitter page. And then check out the link tree. It's in our bio. It will take you to all of our social media pages. More specifically, the YouTube channel. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, like this video, share it with your friends, family, whoever else you know is a Philly sports fan. Join in the comment section. It's always a blast. And I'm sure it's going to be a blast again today, Scotty. I'm one half your host. Excuse me, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty. Eagles, Rams, big Sunday night football matchup we're going to talk about later on in the show.
Yeah.
Apparently, from reporters and other ownership around the league, the MLB thinks the Phillies are going to get a star. They're going to land a star. They're going star hunting again. So we can dabble into that if we have time to. But we all know where we're starting here. We missed Wednesday's show, and we have a lot to recap. So, Scotty, my man, before I throw this to you, let me just give the quick recap. Started 2-10. Things could not get worse. Blew a 19-point lead in Miami. Not just blew a 19-point lead, and they got ran out of the gym in the second half and was almost down like 15, 16 points at some point. Had a team meeting for over an hour and a half. Team meeting gets leaked. Tyrese Maxey, the 22, 23-year-old, evidently has to call out or challenge a former MVP in Joel Embiid to participate and to show up on time to team activities and to practices. Players want to be coached harder. Coaches want players to practice harder. Back and forth. Great team meeting. Team meeting gets leaked. Who leaked it? Joel wants to find who leaked it. Then you come out. Memphis Grizzlies, no Ja Morant, no Marcus Smart, no Vince Williams, etc., no Zach Edey, etc., and you lose to the Memphis Grizzlies again for the second time this season. While they're shorthanded, default to 2-12. Paul George gets injured again. And now this morning, the cherry on top, Joel Embiid has all of a sudden been added to the injury report for injury management. He is now questionable for tonight's game against the Brooklyn Nets. He was at shoot around, but did not participate. It just keeps getting better, man. And to throw it to you, this is the perfect way I can sum up my emotions. It is way worse than I ever could have imagined. And each night and each new report and each new tweet that continues to come out makes it worse and worse and worse. When you can't find a new low, something happens with this team to get you there.
Yeah, it's the epitome of the Philadelphia 76ers. They take royalty in taking low to new levels in the city of Philadelphia. Even just had to confirm. I had to look to just confirm. I was pretty sure, but yes, they have the worst record in the entire National Basketball Association.
Oh, yeah, not just in America anymore.
I just have to.
Yeah, no.
I have to laugh it away. I have a conspiracy theory for Joel Embiid. I think he's taken the night off to go find who leaked out the team meeting source the other night, because he is just beside himself about this, apparently.
Right. Priorities are just super losing streak. 30-year-old. Just
not this huge losing streak your team is on right now that is like literally sinking you in any hopes you have in being successful in the postseason, right? That what this was all about. And we're worried about who's leaking the team meeting. Like, newsflash, it needed to be leaked, because otherwise we're sitting here looking at them even fucking crazier if they're not meeting and talking about this. Like, this is a problem.
Being in the podcast world with you, my friend, we all saw the thumbnail and the YouTube clip for Paul George's podcast. I have a question.
Read the room, brother.
If it wasn't already leaked, were they not going to discuss it on the podcast? Like, that shit was getting out there somewhere. And by the way, like, it's made this big deal, and everyone was so frustrated and focused on the point of who leaked it and why did it get leaked. First of all, shit gets leaked in every locker room. Every like, there's a report that comes out from everything. Secondly, like, that was your guys' big takeaway.
Right.
Like
That's
who
what you're worried
stopped the
about.
leak here? Not the fact that the former MVP, the grown man in the room, had to be challenged by a guy 3 or 4 years younger than myself, and I'm 4 years younger than Joel Embiid.
Right.
To participate and show up on time. But again, that doesn't really matter when Joel Embiid is doing Joel Embiid things and when the Sixers are winning. To be fair to Joel Embiid, because I know I'm going to crucify him over the show, what happened against Memphis really has nothing to do with it. You can pinpoint and nitpick and say, his energy level on defense in the first half wasn't really there. Yeah, he's a little lazy on defense on his rotations. And the dude dropped 35 points on very efficient shooting. Got to the line 7 times, 14 for 14 from the line. Was one of the only starters left in the game down the stretch, which I was questioning Nick Nurse. Why is Joel Embiid still out there when you're down 16 with 5 minutes left?
Getting his
all
rest
of a sudden,
tonight.
The Sixers are down 4 with the ball with 30 seconds left. So he tried his ass off. He played incredibly well. Unfortunately, besides like Jared McCain and Yabusele, nobody else showed up against the Memphis Grizzlies. So that is the one like little bit of leadway I'll give grace I'll give Joel Embiid for this show.
No, I feel you. I was ready to, kind of get back on the wagon until, I saw this Joel injury management shit. Like, how many days has it been since the Grizzlies game?
I applaud you.
Has it just been one night since the Grizzlies game? Was it Thursday night off, and now we're at Friday? It was Wednesday night that game was.
But you had a day off in between.
I was, and what I mean by getting back on the wagon, this is all subjective, right? Like, this is all perspective based here. Getting back on the wagon, what I mean by that is looking at the next 5 games and thinking, maybe. Just because I do believe, this is what I will say. This is a little bit of optimism I will throw out there, even with Embiid questionable for this game tonight, man. It has to be some sick joke that we're on, like the Truman Show or something. But nonetheless, all it takes is just one win to just get off this horrible track that we're on. It just takes one win. All you have to do is see the clock run out once, and the Sixers are winning the game at that point. And that can turn this around. Like, I truly believe it, man. I truly believe a level of confidence, a level of consistency can come from just simply winning. The concern is, when is that win going to come, man? And, you look at the schedule, it's the Nets, it's the Clippers. That's not even an easy game, man. The Rockets, that's not even an easy game. But it's still a game that you would look at and be like, this Sixers team could win, even without Paul George, maybe, right? We're not at that point though anymore, and that's the concern. The concern is you're going into these games with what, a 30-70 chance of winning, 30% chance the Sixers might win, 70% chance the other team's up and coming player, or maybe not even up and coming, because Jake LaRavia, I don't look at him as up and coming, but he's just having a night against you. So I'm looking at the Nets tonight, and I'm like, man, what is Cam Thomas going to do to our team? Or is it going to be Cam Johnson, right? Who's it going to be? This just off-the-wall guy that goes
Dennis
off
Schroeder
on us
plays for the
tonight.
Nets now, right?
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder. Yeah. It will be him because he talks shit, too. But, no, it is a matter of just, where is the dignity for this team? All jokes aside, all laughs aside, you're watching this stuff transpire. You're seeing the things that are being said about you. The team meetings are being leaked. And yet you still come out against the Grizzlies and you have that lack of effort. The fact, once again, Embiid obviously great in this game, 35 and 11. The fact that McCain is the number 2, man, 20 points in this game, man. And if he doesn't have the 20, I mean, my God, where are we at? Because Paul George did not exist. Caleb Martin took what, one shot in the game? Did he take one shot? All I remember
No, he's 1 for 6 in the first half.
Oh, he's 1 for 6. So he did take shots. They were just not memorable. He hit one shot. Good point. Kelly Oubre has forgot how to play basketball. To TR's point, the comments from Kenyon Martin. I did not see the comments specifically. So if you want to clarify what he said about the vets actually saying about Jared McCain, but I will say I've gotten the vibe at times from this team that they're not the happiest that McCain is actually showing out and earning his spot, earning his role in this team. I pointed it out to you during the game. It's something that's stuck in my head with Eric Gordon in that game against the Grizzlies, where McCain's just over on the left wing wide open for a three-pointer, and Eric Gordon puts his head down and tries to go to the rack on two guys.
And I believe dribbled it off his own left knee.
Dribbled it off his own leg, then rolls his eyes because he thinks like he was supposed to get like some call. And it's like, no, that's the basketball gods punishing you because you should have just passed the ball to the open shooter. It's just one example, but I can see where not guys like Embiid, not guys like those vets, not the Paul Georges of the world, but these other guys that want minutes on this team, I could see them hating on a young kid like that, man, which is sad. But, like, why should I expect more from this team right now when they have no dignity to go out and perform, man?
Yeah,
you're going to come out and lose to the Nets tonight?
Here's the thing. I applaud you, and I would love to hope or try. The thing that I've learned with this team over the start of this season is throw out the schedule. Throw out, well, look at the stretch they have. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
And they're not just losing to the Memphis Grizzlies shorthanded. They're not just losing to the Toronto Raptors. They're not just No, they're getting ran out of the gym, specifically in the second, in the third, and later on in the fourth quarter. Obviously, they make that comeback. Look, this team's about to get run down because I have issues with just about everybody not named Jared McCain and Gershon Yabusele. And to start the year, those should have been like your 11th and 12th men at that time, at that point in time when you're looking at this rotation. Okay, let's run it down. Joel Embiid, great game against the Memphis Grizzlies. 35, efficient, fought hard till the end. Got it. Before that was awful, right? Had to be called out. Lazy, uninspired, mopey. Got it. Joel Embiid, bad. Tyrese Maxey, I love you. Love you, love you, love you. Do I think Tyrese Maxey's going to start to shoot better at some point? Yes. The problem is you're in such a hole. My man, good on you for challenging Joel Embiid. But if you're going to challenge Joel Embiid, you better not come out and shoot 3 for 13 yourself and go 0 for 6 or 0 for 5 from three-point land. I don't care that it was your first game back. Why? Because you weren't shooting well before the injury. So Tyrese Maxey, not taking that leap and not even at the level he was at last year that we need him to be. Paul George, before the injury, the guy just forgot how to shoot a basketball, evidently. We know that happens when they become Sixers, but it's not about age. It's not about decline. It's not about athleticism. Scotty, this man's coming off a career year shooting the ball for the Clippers last year. Career highs. And he's shooting like 27% from three-point land for us. Kelly Oubre Jr., he must have lost 23 brain cells to start this season. He does something mind-boggling every single night. There's a turnover. There's a drive. There's the slash to the basket. When there's no point in cutting towards Joel to end that game. Just stand there and receive this catch and shoot opportunity. Kelly Oubre Jr. drives me nuts. Caleb Martin put on a Sixers uniform. I thought Caleb Martin was a pretty good defender. Maybe it was just that Miami Heat zone and that Heat culture we hear about because he can't guard anybody. I've watched Caleb Martin trip over his own shoelaces 19 times since he's become a Sixer and just turn the ball over. Eric Gordon can't play right now. Kyle Lowry started the year hot from three. Hasn't made a three since the first 4 games of the season. Is there anybody else I need to get to? It's the whole, not to quote Jason Kelsey, it's the whole team, dude. The whole team. To TR's point up here, if there wasn't so much drama going on within the locker room and injuries and everything, and there was more focus on the actual play, we would still be disgusted in what this team is doing. They can't shoot. Man, they're shooting under 43% from the field as a team. They're under 32% from the three-point line as a team. And then I texted you this in the beginning of this game, if I can find it. They don't defend. They don't. Kelly Oubre Jr., Tyrese Maxey, Caleb Martin, they're aggressive. They go for a steal, whatever it is. They trail, help comes, open three-point shooter after open three-point shooter is what you saw against Memphis, and they buried you for it over and over again. They don't defend. They're late. Andre Drummond. No, there's another one. Andre Drummond. The numbers look okay, statistic-wise. He's a lazy fuck. You're 7-1, dude. Jump to defend a shot. Jump to grab a defensive rebound. The man just stands underneath the rim for a ball to come his way. And he still ends up with like 10 rebounds. Just be active, dude. What they're actually doing on the floor, drama aside, is disgusting basketball to start the year. That is probably my biggest problem. I can deal with the drama if you look like a functional basketball team. You don't.
See, I don't think we can blame Daryl Morey. Like, I think he is a guy that you can't, like, I guess, like, at the end of the season,
this offseason all summer.
That's what I mean. Like, we glazed up this offseason and called it the best Sixers offseason ever, called this team the best team that's ever surrounded Embiid, maybe our best shot at a championship since, AI or whatever you want to say. So I don't know. I can't look at Daryl Morey and give him blame when he just did exactly what we would have ultimately done. To that point, your GM's supposed to be ahead of you, ahead of the trends, right? I get it, blah, blah, blah. But it's not the point. We were very, very excited about this roster construction coming into the season. But I think, as crazy as this might sound, like, TR's comment earlier about the field goal percentage being last and all those metrics, it's just like, that's not like sustainable for them to be like that bad. Like, you know how when somebody is so good, like when a team is so good that you're like, there's no way they can stay this hot. There's no way they can shoot this good for an entire season. I feel like that about the Sixers in return. Like, there's no way they can be like this bad for an 82-game stretch. But could they be this bad for 40-game stretch and it sinks your season? That's where we're at. That's what we're discussing right now. Correct. And that's what could happen. At the end of the day, there's got to be some type of switch in the locker room. There's got to be something. Like, I don't know exactly what I would do. One, to Martian's point, Nick Nurse, like we haven't talked about him much. Between like his media presence and what we see on the court, like, yeah, like
annoying fuck, dude.
I found myself asking myself, like, would I want to fire him? Would I want to fire Nick Nurse?
I mean, I'm
almost already there.
I'm not saying that I want to. I don't know the answer to that right now. I really don't.
I can't stand to see what I'm watching on the court outside of like the injuries and stuff too. Like, I get injuries, but even with all of that accounted for, there's like somebody's got to fall on the sword as this continues to trickle down and go the wrong way. Somebody has to fall on the sword, and that's what I mean. Like, I don't know what needs to click in the locker room that is going to get this thing going. It's not guys returning from injury. Like, it's not that. So what is it?
I'm past the point of thinking that this team's just going to flip a switch one night. Like, I hope so, and it's a long year, but no, I have no faith in it. Man, and we all know why, and obviously we see who the replacement was, and there was a lot of juice going on there. But if Adrian Griffin can get fired, now Adrian Griffin doesn't have a ring like Nick Nurse has. I get it. But if Adrian Griffin can get fired after starting, what did Milwaukee start that year?
Above 500.
Well, way above. They were like 36-14 or some shit.
Like, regardless, above 500, he gets fired. Like
way over 500. Like, top 3 seed in the East. If he can get fired, dude, you start this year like 3-16 with this. I get whatever. And to Gid's point, sure. But again, like, I don't know how much is Nick Nurse loved. If within this said meeting that was leaked, the players had to challenge the coaching staff to be to practice harder. And then the coach responds by saying he wants guys to practice harder. Like, what is happening, dude? I just don't get
pushing to fire.
I'm not pushing for
We're
him
not
to get
pushing
fired.
it.
I'm
it's
saying
just a
Nick
combo.
Nurse is not helping a single fucking thing.
Exactly. And I saw something. It's funny, once again, pointing back to TR's comments about the Kenyon Martin comments about Oubre, right? Because I remember seeing in that game against the Grizzlies where Oubre was walking back. He was walking off the court. He walks past Nick Nurse and the coach that sits beside him. I can't remember who it is. He walks past him. It might be Rico Hines for all I know. But he walks by him and he's slapping everybody's hands on the bench. And they did a quick cut with the camera, man. But he ultimately went past Nick Nurse and the coach beside him and then went back and got in their face and went like this and made them slap his hand. Could just be making sure he gets everybody's hands on the way to the bench. Could be, I'm being a team guy. I'm supporting. I'm here. You know how Kelly Oubre is, man. So it is funny, man. But once again, Kelly Oubre, you want a starting position, dude? Play the fuck better. I don't know what to tell you. You can't average 20 points like Jared McCain can. So if you're jealous of a fucking rookie, you need to go look in the fucking mirror. All of these guys, they need a reality check, man.
No, to Gint's point, I agree, and that's why I'm not saying I'm not pushing for Nick Nurse to be gone. I just want to know, at what point do you help the situation at all? And then on top of it, acting surprised and getting annoyed that you're asked these questions day in and day out, knowing the situation. It's at some point, you're part of the culture. You're supposed to set the culture. And right now it's a terrible one. And then you get annoyed and frustrated by being asked these, well, brother, what do you expect? Today, you are going to be asked about Joel Embiid being put late onto this injury report for injury management.
What you signed up for, man?
No Paul George. Maxey on minute restriction. Now you might not have Embiid. I mean, you were talking, it's the Brooklyn Nets. They will get run out of the fucking gym if Joel Embiid does not play tonight. Run out of the gym. I don't care who it's against. With how
maybe though, you know what I mean though. This is what I mean. You go against the Cavs, right? You play against the Cavs, the undefeated Cavs.
Yeah.
And you take them to the wire. Jared McCain's, dropping 35, and they're playing them tough. And we look at that game and we think, at least I thought. I'm not going to speak for others. I looked at that game and I thought, man, if Embiid was playing, we would have won.
Yeah. But then I watched Joel Embiid shoot 2 for 13 in a game and look
against the Heat, and then they go and lose to the Grizzlies without Ja Morant, and now here we are again, man. But
and again, I get it, and to your point, it's when I compare what the Sixers have roster wise, even without Joel and PG or without Maxey and PG or whatever, when they're missing these three, and I compare them to the likes of the Nets or the injured Raptors or injured Grizzlies, and say, I get what you're saying, well. They even with their they're set in stone for 4 or 5 games in a row. We keep fluctuating. I get that. Yeah. But man, it's hard to play in the NBA. It's hard to play in every league. But I don't know. When Nick Sirianni says it's hard to win in the National Football League, we clown him, don't we? We clown him.
This is gets real Hooper coming out in his personality though, because I do get it. You playing with different guys every night versus a team that's been playing together. And this is a team that has not been together before this season either. So it is fair. It is fair, but it's just another excuse. And that's the problem. We just racked up and ran out of excuses.
The problem is this, man. Scottie Pippen Jr., Santi Aldama, Jake LaRavia, Jay Huff. That's the problem. I know they have been getting run and we keep changing things up. But it's to me that shouldn't matter at home. At home with Joel and Maxey and PG all starting. That shouldn't matter.
It was in Memphis, to be fair. It was in Memphis.
Oh, I'm sorry. We lost to Memphis.
I got that excuse loaded, bro.
We lost to Memphis in Memphis already with no Ja Morant and Desmond Bane.
No, this last game, this last one was in Memphis. So the one we lost before without Ja and Desmond Bain must have been in Philly because we only played them twice in one season. So it is insane. But
I just don't know where to go from here. I
don't know.
There's always going to be hope. Like it's November. Like I get it. I just watch this team on a nightly basis and go, when are they going? Like, what's it going to take for them to snap out of it? And to your point, Scott, winning cures. I don't know that beating the Brooklyn Nets tonight is just going to flip this switch.
It's not that it will flip the switch because it's the Nets. It's just getting off of the losing streak. You can then, after that game, you can clear out everything, at least mentally, and you can say, we got off the schneid, right? Maxey and Embiid's back. Are they? But we'll see about that. But you know what I mean. You get out there, you get a W against Brooklyn. You're at home, and Embiid's back, Maxey's back. You can get the vibes in the right direction, is what I'm trying to say. But no, it's not that one win is going to solve everything for them. It's like real strategic changes that is going to solve everything for them. It's really Embiid getting into proper conditioning, coming back from the injury, that's going to solve their issues. It's Maxey getting whatever the hell is going on. I don't know if it was the off season. You know, man, I talk about guys that were doing too much media in the off season, man, and Maxey got that contract. He wasn't allowed to work out up until he signed the contract, right? There's a bunch of stipulations before he signs that super max. So doesn't go out and have his normal offseason, right? We didn't see those training videos with Chris Johnson and Rico Hines this summer from Tyrese Maxey. So it does make me wonder, like, where his head was at with the money, everything going on, whatever. He needs to figure it out. He needs to start shooting the ball.
To Marsh's last comment, it is a pipe dream. They're not winning 10 in a row right now, especially as injured as they're still going to be.
10
being 12 and 12 would be fucking damn good. Like, dude, think about it this way. If they're 500 at the All-Star break, they have a chance to finish 10-plus games over 500. So you just have to get there. The problem is right now, deep down in my soul, I don't have any faith that they're getting back to 500 anytime soon. I'm not saying they won't finish the season at 500 or whatever. I'm saying, like, I just don't see them by Christmas being 500. And
well, the good news is the fifth seed in the Eastern Conference is below 500, so it doesn't even matter.
I know.
You get 5 games, win 5 more games, and you are at the fucking 7th seed right now. My God, like. It's why I have, like, the little hope I have, I think, man. Because if they were in the Western Conference,
the issue is, like, I hear you, but, like, I'm trying to stop looking at what everyone else is doing and just focus on what they're doing. And what they're doing is some disgusting work. Like,
I get it. But, like, look at it this way. They're 2-12. So what? That's 14 games. There's 82 games in a season. Are they on what? They're only going to win like what, 8, 10, 12 games this year? Like, is that going to happen? Like, no, that's not going to happen, Dylan. Like, I don't care how down you are on this team. They're not going to come out and just win 20 games this year. Like, they are better than that. We know that they're better.
No, they're not going to go 20 and 62.
So there is going to be a point in the season where they go on a stretch and win 5 to 6 games in a row. I do see it. Like, it will happen.
Yeah. I believe that. I believe, like, in February they'll go on.
Win. To your point, win. When is that gonna happen? I would just love to see. You know, maybe this is what it is. Maybe it isn't. I would love to see Embiid just stand up, go out to the media today, and say, "No, I want to play tonight. We need a W." I would love to see that. I would love to see something, like just some type of, like, shift in leadership. Maybe it comes from Embiid. Maybe it comes from someone else. I don't know. Something has got to give. I mean, look, Martian, stop, man. You're, like, driving us down this, like, oh, man. It's not Martian. It's the Sixers driving us down, if I'm being real, man. I don't know, man. I wish I had solutions for you.
I will say to Martian, look, the Joel Embiid
Free Marcus Hayes. Hell no.
The mopiness, the injuries, the not showing up on time, all that, yeah, it adds fuel to the fire. But like I told him the other day, he took it too far. That's before Joel dropped 35 and had a great night the other night. Like when you get to a point and you start saying Joel Embiid is stinks and Joel Embiid, can't like that's what are we doing? Like to Gid's point, yes. If Joel Embiid continues to play ball, which he needs to play ball to continue to get into shape, he will be a top 3 to 4 player in the league. And at times he's going to be the best player in the world. The issue is just everything else that comes with it. You don't got to be low key, Abe. We're high key right now. We're high key.
See, the top 5 pick, the thing about the Sixers, man, like it's like funny to say like Cooper Flag and things like this. It's like that's not going to happen either, though. What they will do is they'll win just enough games to give their pick to OKC so they can go and make their selection. So it's not even like we can go and like hope to tank for the draft and do all of this. We have to go out here. We got to try to win games. And we got to try to improve our playoff stand or get into the picture at least, right? Like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to laugh it off. It's a dark place we're in right now.
Again, it just adds fuel to the fire. If the Sixers go on a 5-game winning streak and Joel Embiid is averaging 34 and 12 over that 5-game winning streak, do you give 2 fucks if Joel Embiid was on time to shoot around or to practice? Do you care?
No,
nobody gives a fuck. The problem is the timing
about any of the personal shit.
The timing of everything comes when the team just blew a 19-point lead to the Heat. They were then 2-11. Joel looks like shit. You have all the offseason stuff, the not being up front with the injury to start the year. You have everything piling up, and that's why you got the reaction you got. If Joel Embiid, if this like came out, like some anonymous source just put it into an ESPN article saying teammates are frustrated with Joel Embiid behind closed doors, nobody cares if they're winning. The problem is how they looked when they did it.
And, I hate to sound this way, but like, if you're these other guys on the team, like, just shut your mouths. Like, at the end of the day, like, you don't have the right. It's kind of like what you were saying with Maxey. I'm not going that crazy on Maxey on his first game back from a hamstring injury. Like, playing like minimal minutes. Like, there's no way you're going to build a rhythm. But to your point, he was playing like shit before the hamstring injury. So, but to your point earlier, just about going out shooting 3 for whatever he shot in that game, 3 for 16 or whatever it was, you don't have the right to call people out. Like, you just don't. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm like in between, like wanting guys to hold each other accountable, and then on the other side, I'm like guys like Eric Gordon, Kelly Oubre, like stop running your fucking mouths. Like you're a vet on the team, sure. You have experience, sure. Go out there and show it on the court. Yeah, where are these guys when we need a bucket? When we're in the third quarter and we're on a bucket drought for like fucking 10 minutes, sitting at the same score.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at then, holding each other accountable, yelling at a teammate for turning the ball over? I don't know, man. This team is just so like backwards, dude. So like you see me, I'm going back and forth here with this team right now. Like I
don't have any faith right now.
You can't say right now. Faith is ever extending. You either have to have it or you don't. Do you know what I mean by that though? You can't have faith right now and then it appear later. If it appears later, you had that faith, Dylan. Is there any faith?
Then there's a percentage bar of faith. There's a percentage bar of faith from 0 to 100%, and my bar is low. Like I get what you're saying, but my 1%. Point, I can have faith or hope, whatever. But I can also watch what's in front of me and go, I don't believe that it's just going to turn around. But here's all right. So again, I'm not trying to get too doom and gloom, and I love Gint, and I want to love this comment. But what are the Sixers, man? Like I'm not trying to go too far down the rabbit hole and just bury this organization. But why? Like this is let's not act like this is some fucking playoff ran team that's been getting, and Joel Embiid's been like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, regular season, they've won 50 plus games for like 4 straight years. I get it. But like, just this isn't the Sixers. Well, the Sixers haven't done anything for us since Joel Embiid's put on a jersey.
But and I'm gonna go against how I feel right now, and I'm gonna be the devil's advocate, and it doesn't help with the injury designation from Embiid tonight. Obviously, going into this Brooklyn matchup, if he plays, then it will be a point valid. But if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. Can we just have a 5-game stretch where we have Embiid and Maxey and McCain and this the team that we have right now coming out of that Grizzlies game, Paul George injured, out of the picture the next 2 weeks. Can we get 5 games in a row with the same starting lineup that includes Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Jared McCain? Can we just get 5 games of that and see what that looks like, where they can play with each other on the court, build chemistry, and start to look like an actual team? Like that is the basketball side of me that does think that they could turn it around. Like, but when you see Embiid go out on a Friday night, it's not a back-to-back. Why are we at risk of missing this game? That is an issue.
And I just want to throw this out there.
You can't build chemistry if he's not there.
He played the second most minutes at 35 against Memphis, and Nick Nurse had him out there. I know they came back. They cut it to 4 late in the game. They had him out there almost the entire fourth quarter, and he played the entire third quarter.
Yeah.
In a blowout, in a 17-point game with 5 minutes left.
But meanwhile, you're holding Maxey to like 10 minutes.
Not play 2 nights later.
It's odd, man.
I'm being serious, dude. He better fucking play tonight.
He needs to play, man. He does need to play. This is one of those that no excuses, dude. Like, you played through illness against Miami on Monday.
Yeah.
You got to the Grizzlies. There was nothing going on against the Grizzlies. You play in that game. Why are we doing this on Friday night, man? Why are we doing this? We need a W.
At home.
We need a W.
You went and played you went on the trip. You played in Miami through an illness. You played in Memphis. You played a second most minutes in Memphis. But now you're not gonna go.
Are they still that delusional that they think like, oh, it's the Brooklyn Nets at home, like we don't need him? Like, are they still that delusional? Is it possible?
Yeah, it might be. But that's the thing, and this is the point where my negativity just continues to climb in my brain, right? We had this conversation last week when they were 2-8 and said, you cannot continue to dig yourself in this hole because 2-8 becomes 2-9, becomes 2. We're now at 2-12, and where you have no Paul George, Maxey's still on a minutes restriction, and possibly no Joel tonight. You get to 2-13. Then you get the Clippers. Who the fuck? No one. I'm not sitting here saying they're going out and beating the Clippers. Paul George already is out for that game. Like, yeah. Yo, you want to talk about a troll? This is the trolliest fucking comment from this kid ever, dude. I know without a shadow of a doubt there's not 1 ounce in his body that believes that statement. There's not an ounce in his body that believes it. They ain't beating nobody by 25 or 30 right now. Nobody.
I thought you were talking about tonight because there is part of me that does think they could beat the Nets without Embiid. It would be kind of typical for them to do something like that, but
no, he doesn't.
The 25.
You're a liar, kid. You do not. There's no way you believe that in your soul.
The Pistons are the 7th seed, man. I don't know if we're touching them.
That's the only thing, man. Like I get it. I get the optics. Yeah. I get the standings. I get it. I'm not worried about everyone else right now. I'm worried about what we're doing.
And it's fair.
Because I just want to say this, like because we're relying on the talent. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're relying on the fact that we have Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George. And they're going to get healthy and they're going to play together. And later on the season, no, they could beat anybody. I get that. I just want to take it to other teams around the city. Like if the Eagles, let's say the Eagles were 4-6, but the NFC wild card and our division was still wide open. Like the Commanders were 5-5. So like we're a game out of our division, but we're 4-6. Are we in hopes of like winning, not just hopes of making the playoffs. Because if the Sixers make the playoffs, what's our expectations? They need to make a run with this team, right? Same thing with the Eagles. We're not just trying to get the 7th seed in the playoffs at that. Like, we want to win. If the Eagles are 4-6, but they're only a game out of the wild card, are we sitting here focused on everyone else and the fact that they're a game out? Or are we sitting here looking at all the negatives with this team and they're just not good enough? Now, again, it's not like Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George are playing together and they're 2-12. So I get it, but it's just we wanted
the Eagles were 4-2 and we were ripping them. So
what?
The Eagles were 4-2 and we were ripping them. So
yeah.
All things go here.
The Phillies are loaded with talent. If the Phillies started the season 3-15,
but
the rest of the NL East wasn't playing well, would we be focused? I know that's a much longer season. It's probably a terrible example. Yeah. But would the fan base be focused on the fact that the Braves aren't blowing us out, or would we be focused on the Phillies and their issues? That's the thing. I'm looking at the team and I'm going, dude, they can't shoot. Yeah, maybe that's right.
I do agree. And like, you can also look at the top of the East too and ask yourself, well, like, you think you're catching them? So, like, yeah, to your point, like, it is fair if you want to compare what you think this team can turn into compared to what our expectations were coming into the season. You would be comparing them against the Celtics and the Cavaliers, not the Pistons and, down below. So to your point, like, those teams are rolling right now. The Cavs are 16-1. Are they like the Cavs are that good, man? Like they're that
good. They're not. They're not. But who the fuck am I to say that? And my team's 2-12. So who am I to say what the 16-1 Cavs aren't?
They got less losses than what we have wins.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of fucking disgusting.
It is. This team is disgusting right now, and there's no excuses to be made for them. To your point, I'm trying to give a little bit of optimism, but
I just want to ask in. All right,
it's hard.
I just want to ask in. I just want to ask in. All right, I'm trying to look at the schedule here for a second.
I love it.
I want to know. I want to know Gin's breaking point. We're 2-12, and they do not have a difficult schedule, as we keep saying, over the next 5. If they go 1-4, and they get to 3-16 on the year, are you like, where are you? Like, and that's only December 3rd. That's only, like, we're still very early in the year. But if they go 1-4 against the Nets, the Clippers, the Rockets, and the Pistons, and they get to 3-16, where are you? If you're not down bad at 2-12, where are you at 3-16? Because at a certain point, man, we're going to start to run out of games and options to start to climb our way out of this thing.
Let me ask it this way. We're back. We're back on 11-10. The Sixers just beat the Hornets in overtime. Jared McCain had his breakout game. What if I told you they were going to lose the next 5? Where would you be?
Right. Right. If I told you before the year that Jared McCain would be the starting 2 guard because of how excellent he's been, and Gershon Yabusele has been an absolute hit by Daryl Morey, what would you have said? Holy shit, the Sixers must be on fucking fire. Wait, what are you saying? Wait, what question? I missed it.
He's saying right now, do you think Sixers are better than the Cleveland Cavaliers? And obviously we're not talking about in this moment, but just this team with the talent they have on the roster makeup, our expectations we have for this team. Are they better than the Cavs, man? Like, let me ask you this. And I know it's hard. It's hard to imagine. It is hard to imagine. It's almost not worth imagining. But
it's not. I don't want to answer the
question. Let's just say they get to the postseason. They're the 8th seed. They get into the play-in, whatever. They get the 8th seed. They're playing the Cavs. First round of the playoffs. Joel's in. He's fully healthy. He's ready to go. Maxey's in. He's healthy. He's ready to go. Paul George is in. He's healthy. He's ready to go. You got your starting lineup. They've been together for, whatever, the last 20 games, maybe.
Mm.
How you feeling going against the Cavs, man?
Stop, dude. See,
how you feeling? How you feeling?
I just want to say, man, I'm never normally against you and Ginn. And, Martian's normally way deeper down the rabbit hole than I am. But I'm stuck, right? Because what I want to say is, at
I'm
what
being
point
a high-level blazer.
looking at the paper and the names and care about what they're actually putting on the floor and doing. The issue is with all the injuries, I can't say that because they're not doing it. So, all the hypotheticals sound great. The problem is, well, Joel's on the injury report again, and Paul George hyperextended the same knee. And, it's just how do, that's all right. Let me ask you guys that question. What the fuck is your faith percentage at that those three are going to be fully healthy? Be honest, bro.
I know. I was gonna say a joke. I was gonna say 70% because they're all injured. They're all injured now, so they'll be good by the playoffs. But no, I feel you, man. Honestly, probably around 20%. 20% chance that all three of these guys are healthy. Maxi's dealing with the hamstring, man. Maxi's dealing with the hamstring. That's the funny thing about these injuries too. A hyperextended knee. A pulled hamstring, whatever the hell Joel's dealing with, his reconstructed knee. These are serious.
Kyle Lowry's got a 58-year-old man hip. He does. So, again, I know, I agree. I know. It's just at a certain point you have to start to pull out of the hole. He said that K2 is destroying you.
K2.
I love this chat some days, dude. Today's one of those days.
The thing is, though, when this does happen, when this turnaround happens, man, we're going to be back on here. We're going to be so strong as a unit. We'll be all back together. And I'm not going to hold any of these comments that the Bull, RJ, Martian, the things that you say about Embiid, he's cooked, and talking about his son. I'm not going to hold any of it against you.
I'm going
to let y'all back on the wagon.
That might get, see, here's the bad thing, though. If this takes a little bit more of a tailspin, that might get clipped. And if
I'm going to let you all back on the wagon. We'll ride steady together, and I'm not even going to bring up things that were said in the chat. It doesn't matter. They just got to turn it around, man.
How nice of you, bro. Are you gonna hold it? What about me? What about me? Do I get the pass?
Yeah, you get the pass, Dylan. Because I get it, man. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to play the other role here. I feel like it's like good cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? It's good cop, bad cop. We can't just destroy the Sixers. Not yet.
You know what else? Here's the thing, man. That really bugs me. Is I was stupid enough to continue to throw my own coin on this team during this pathetic run. And that's what really gets me. You and I, we've talked about the team totals we missed by the hook a couple different times. The scoring droughts they go on, and they miss the team total by 3 or 4. And if they don't go on a 4-minute drought, they probably hit it. But the Memphis game, I was confident, man. I bet their spread. And then at halftime, they're losing. And you know what I did, Scotty? I said,
double down.
This team's going to come back. So I live bet the Sixers at halftime. Plus 5.5. Now refresh my memory. What happened in the last 30 seconds of that game? After being down 19, they had to come all the way back with under a minute. They cut to 4. Now I'd still be down money on the night, but the plus 5.5 would have been a nice little thank you. Turnover, foul, make both free throws, miss shot, and so you had to come back from 19, cover my plus 5.5 for all of 2 seconds, foul somebody late in the game to extend the game, and then lose by 1.5 points. I mean, if I wasn't already pissed off at the Sixers, that's going to drive me a little bit further over the edge.
Yeah, I do feel you. I feel you because I was the same way. I was the same way on Monday with the Heat, man. I thought they was going to win that one. I think it was the same way last Friday. Last Friday, I don't even remember who we were playing, but I was feeling it coming off that Eagles W on Thursday Night Football. But man, yeah, I'm not gonna go at you guys for feeling this way at the end of the day. I laugh, I kid, I joke around, but yeah, there's no excuses for the way this team is playing right now, my man.
No,
don't want back if Joel is still around, man.
See, I have to ask Martian.
I'm not there with Joel, man. I'm not there.
I have to ask Martian this question: like, why? Like, what is it with you and Joel?
Right, like what is it that like kind of just turned the?
Because like you're not just frustrated. You're not just frustrated.
You're taking it to a personal level, like Marcus Hayes.
Yeah, like he doesn't like the whining. Like and right. I get it. I don't like the whining, but like he doesn't like the whining and the late to meetings, and now he's like, I don't want him to win anything, and that I find a little weird. Like if the Sixers were to win a chip, you're like, I'll pass because Joel. I don't know.
I am. I'm curious, man. I'm not gaslighting you guys. I honestly, I come on here. I do present devil's advocate a lot of the time. I try to be optimistic in certain cases.
When did I gaslight the chat?
I'm just like, honestly, I don't think that they continue to play like this. I think they end up being a much better team than what they look like right now. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm not going to sit here and try to like act like I know when that turnaround's going to happen. But I don't think they're going to finish the season as like this 20 and 40 team,
they're not
30 and 30 team, or 30 and 50 team. I don't see it, man. But
no, I don't think they are going to end the year at such a poor record like that. But my thing is this, man. I mean, what's like? They're a 9 seed and have to play 2 games in the play-in, all to get the 8 seed, and then play the Boston in the first round. You know what I mean? Like at that point, like I'm not saying I wouldn't want it. Like yeah, I'd be ready for war every night, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know.
Like, I mean, we're running out of time here, man. We're not even going to get to talk about like other shit. We're talking all shit.
So what I was going to say is not only are we running out of time, when the chat's this fired up, I feel like I can't change lanes.
Yeah. Because I want to have a conversation about Joel right now. I really want to have a conversation. Like 35 and 11 the other night, and he's cooked? Like that's your answer? Like Joel Embiid's cooked.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get that. Like, how's his window closed if he can drop 35 and 11? I don't get it. I don't understand that. The window is closed. Joel is cooked.
Yeah.
If you don't like his personality,
now he's just taking his grief and his anger out. He said, I hate him. It's personal at this point. You don't hate anybody. You're full of love.
It is personal, though. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he fucked your wife or something. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what Joel did to this city. Maybe if it was a teammate mad at him or something, that would be
believe it or not, there are people that would trade Joel Embiid for Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo right now. I've seen it on Twitter personally.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen it, and I also know Heat fans that would willingly do it. They would send them right up for him. So
I wonder why.
Take that for what you want.
I wonder why. I mean, and here's the other thing. Like, so to Martian's point, like he's been watching it for. Like, I get it. Like, we haven't won anything. We've been let down over and over again. I get it. It's the same story with the injuries over and over again. When are we going to stop? I get all of that. But like, he's only played in what? 3 or 4 games so far this year.
Right. And so he's supposed to drop 35 and 11 and defend everybody that can't stay in front of their men. Right. Like every guy that gets through and guys can't stay in front of their man, but he has to defend everybody along with lead the team in scoring and rebounding.
Yeah.
Coming off of injury, obviously gas, lacking conditioning, right? Like that's all plays a part. But that's just lacking conditioning. That's not cooked.
Just wait till
we just gotta choose our words wisely. Like I don't know, man. Cooked. Joel Embiid cooked.
Yeah, let's stop. Did you hear what I said? I said I could just wait till I get to my Tyrese Maxey conversation in a few weeks. Joking, everybody. I'm joking. I will say better start shooting better. But
yeah, he needs to, man.
No, I do agree with you wholeheartedly, man. I know we got to get out of here in a few minutes, but like no one's excusing the Joel thing, and it's actually very annoying. And I find his comments about everything else even further annoying. Like the joke he made after the team meeting, being a troll. Oh, we had a team meeting. I didn't, bro. Again, you're 30. Like I don't want like stop with that nonsense. And then clearly, you know, the reports were from like Lou Williams and other people. The reports were it was accepted gracefully. They were laughing. They were giggling afterwards together. Joel goes out and drops 35 and 11. He seemed to accept it. But then after they lose, now he wants to find the snitch, and it's unbelievable that this got leaked. And the comments that he made, well, everything's always my fault, so I guess I'll take the blame for this too. Like that's the shit that needs to stop. That needs to stop, man. Yeah. And if they start 3-16, getting pays for my beers for 2 weeks.
They can win a championship. This
is the most asinine thing I've ever seen.
Man. Like, I don't know what to say to that. Like,
by anybody. By anybody. I don't know if he's trolling. I don't know what it is.
Gotta be trolling.
I love you, dude. It's the most asinine thing I've seen someone comment to me. You don't care that the Sixers win a championship for the first time in 40 plus years because Joel Embiid.
A guy that was drafted
last year, but
won MVP with them.
But 6 months ago, all we wanted was for Joel to get a ring.
But you do care for Joel because you talk about him so much. Like, you do care for him.
Right.
Like, you do. You care for him because you talk about him a lot. You bring him up on the NFL show. Like, you do care for him. Like, you care for him. Like, let's be real here, man. Like, that's why it hurts so much, because you do care for him.
Yeah, because you want him to be great, Martian.
You want him to be great. You want him to have that Kobe mentality, and I get that part. It's disappointing. He doesn't have that. I do agree with that. But give me 30 and 10 in the postseason. Give me Paul George with like playing average or something. Like, give me Tyrese Maxey from last year, and give me Jared McCain, and then let's talk, man. 30 and 10, give it to me. But
I hear you, brother.
I do feel you. He gets annoying sometimes.
George,
do I hate him? Hate him? Hate's a strong word, brother. I hate Giannis. I hate Jokic. I hate these other teams and these other players. I hate Jalen Brunson. I hate those guys. I just get annoyed by the Sixers.
It's not going to like the Jalen Brunson comment.
I respect Brunson, but I do not like his game. And to be honest, if I wasn't a Sixers fan, I probably wouldn't like Embiid's game, to be fair, like in that standpoint. But love is just as strong. Hey, you don't got to love him. We're not saying that. You don't got to love him.
But respect him.
Love the Sixers. That's all you got to love. Love the badge.
Even though they make it incredibly difficult.
They do, man. This Friday, they ruined our Friday show.
Yeah, I mean, completely derailed the Friday show with how much
we're gonna have to talk Big Eagles Rams on Sunday. We didn't even get to chat about it.
We'll have the pregame show. We'll have all day Sunday to figure out that plan.
It is all love.
I mean, listen, I'd love to sit here and talk about how they could get Juan Soto or trade for Garrett Crochet and do this, do that. And until they do something, you know, we were going to talk about it today, but
we got to make sure it's one where Joel isn't playing. Otherwise, you can't go.
I'm not going to a game with him because he'll get us kicked out for saying some crazy shit.
Joel try to come fight him on the sidelines or some shit.
Like, I ain't going to the game with this dude. We're sitting on opposite ends of the floor. If that's the case. Fuck out of here.
I know, D-Rad. We didn't even get to talk birds, man. It's all Joel's fault. Didn't even get to talk birds today, man.
No, it really is. With that said, guys, if you are new to the channel, I saw a couple new people. Kane, Where is it? Where is it? That Bull RJ. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. It's YouTube. It's free. It's like any other YouTube channel. Obviously, we're here Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Thursdays, and Sundays on our Turf Talk channel. And we also do pregame shows. If the Sixers could help me out, I'd love to get back to doing Sixers pregame shows with my man Scotty. Just not in the works right now.
Who wants to do a pregame show when you want to do keys to victory and all you can think of is just like play the fuck better? Like, like that's all I can think of going into a game. Like there is no like minor adjustments that need to be made. Like they need to just play better than what they are.
I don't care how you do it. Yeah.
Golly.
With that said,
subscribe
on all social media platforms. We appreciate each and every one of you in the chat today. It was electric. We'll be back, like we said, Sunday for the pregame show, and then Monday morning, hopefully a Victory Monday, talking Eagles over the Rams. At the Rams, I'm sure I'll see you there if you are watching. And then the Sixers play Sunday against the Clippers. So maybe you'll have a double Victory Monday, Martian. Maybe we'll have a double Victory Monday.
Are they on a home stand at least? Is that what's going on? Because they have to be playing the Clippers at home.
3 games at home, man.
3-game win streak. Let's go.
Yeah. Fucking right.
That's not serious, guy. Like I'm not being serious there. Okay, just in case you guys can't tell.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you.
Peace, Mark.